Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everybody, I'm AdamHarry from Bell Lost Souls with
Michael from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
And we're back with another Tabletop Spotlight. Michael, what is this fun looking game you have today?
This is Flashpoint Fire Rescue. It's a board game cooperative themed around firefighting. So I wanted to bring it by and show it off. It's one that I really like.
Awesome, so it looks like a cool family game?
Yeah, it can definitely work for families.
Okay.
It's also good for more hardcore people as well.
Sure.
We'll check it all out inside, of course, but it's really fun. I enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, it looks like a fun game. Actually, my brother-in-law's a firefighter, so this is kind of close to home. I want to take a look at this game. So let's jump in this box. Here we have Flashpoint. Let's get in this box, man. You got the scissors.
I do have the scissors.
Do some snipping.
All right,
Safety
so let's.
Scissors.
Of course, you got the typical firefighter on the front there. Let's show off the back a little bit. You can get an idea, sort of the gameplay. You got the map here, fire tokens, all these.
And
cards
this is a
everything.
co-op game.
It's absolutely a co-op game.
It kind of looks a little bit like Pandemic, but on a small scale.
It's Pandemic, but with fire.
Yeah.
And not disease.
Makes sense.
And also in one house, not the whole world. So it's really not that much like Pandemic.
Yeah, if
but
it was Pandemic on fire, like the whole South America's on fire.
South America's on fire.
Good.
Cut down the rainforest.
Yeah.
If I can get this plastic off. Having some shrubs here.
That's all right. Take your time. But yeah, it looks really cool. You were telling me too that the fire actually can spread and stuff.
Obviously. Oh yes, much like typical fire. Wow, this is the hardest plastic wrap in the universe.
There you go.
It's fine if I cut the box. This is my copy.
Boom, he's keeping this one.
Oh yes. But yeah, here we go.
Yeah, get in there.
So like I said, this is super cooperative.
Yep.
It is. It does have variable difficulty levels, which is really cool.
Oh.
So you can play sort of an easy version with like parents and kids and your family and stuff.
And then if you're more hardcore, you think you're hardcore.
If you got a group of hardcore friends, you can fight like the most dangerous fire in the universe. But we'll get into that in a second. So you got your rule book here, of course. Pretty good sized rule book. It's not too big. It's maybe 8 pages.
8 to 10 pages.
8 to 10 pages. So gives you a lot of examples of different rulings.
And this is really big text. So do not be intimidated by this book.
You got your sort of layout of the map there that we'll get into in a second. But
awesome.
It's very cool. I really do enjoy this game. So we'll.
And it looked like there were different types of firefighters.
Yeah, a lot like Pandemic. You have your role with your special powers. So the comparison actually is somewhat apt with the cooperative gameplay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, let's hop over and let's take a look at the
So here you got all your tokens here. Of course, your fire tokens that can spread very, very quickly.
Fire bad.
These are...
are these chemicals?
These are hazmat tokens and things like that can obviously be very dangerous if they explode.
They can explode?
Oh, yes.
You'll notice here you
have your question mark tokens. These are sort of the people you have to save, possibly. And of course, you'll notice some of them are blank.
Ooh.
Might have some false flags. You got all sorts of different tokens and stuff to.
Is that just another set on the back there?
Yeah, it's just 3 sets of basically.
Oh, those are actually different though, because so you have these people. Flip that one over again.
Yeah.
You notice here, because I noticed there's a dog and a cat. So the tokens on the back are actually slightly different.
There are also rules with a fire truck, so you can hit the fire from the outside, and an ambulance, so you can save people. Like I said, there's a lot of different rules variants, different difficulty levels and stuff.
And here's the board.
Oh yes, you get comes with a double-sided board to start.
Oh, sweet.
So you get two ways to play right off the bat.
So there's the first board.
You got all the rooms. You got all the doors, and as is typical, sort of with a firefighter. You can sort of break through walls that are damaged and save people. It's really cool.
So we can breaching charge. Here's a smaller.
Yeah, a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But you'll notice it sort of has a grid system here.
Yeah.
That's how you tell how the fire spreads. You roll dice and like, the fire spreads this way.
Are these the breakable walls?
Yep. And how it works is that you'll have cubes that should be under here.
Okay.
These damage cubes here, the black cubes, you'll put one on a wall when it's damaged and 2 when it's destroyed.
Nice.
If there's 2, you can move through it. But if you put all these cubes out, the building collapses and you lose.
Whoops.
So again, a lot like Pandemic, you run out of cubes.
Yeah, game over, bad times.
So there's there is definitely some apt comparisons there.
Cool.
You do get these nice little firefighter minis, which I actually really like. These little minis. The first, I think, version of this game just came with like meeples.
Yeah, sure.
But I like that they have the.
We'll put these up a little closer. You can see pretty good detail on them. It looks like a hard plastic. Yeah, so. The minis themselves aren't gonna break. Pretty durable.
They're pretty durable.
Yeah, color coded obviously.
Yeah, you do get your player card here. You can see a yellow and a blue one there, so everybody gets their color.
Awesome.
And then you have these very large roll cards, which I like how big these are. So again, if you're playing with kids, it's easy to
help them out and see what they're.
Hazmat Technician is one of the roles
the
you
blue
can play
guy
as here. And then on the back, of course, you got your player reference guide. So you're sort of typical co-op stuff, but it's really...
Let's run through the turn phase real quick.
Sure.
So you can see that right there.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got action phase, so it looks like you spend action points to do stuff.
Yeah, everybody starts with action points. You can use them to move around, save people, put out fires, dispose of hazmat chemicals, stuff like that.
Yeah, then the advanced fire, roll for smoke, resolve
like
any explosions if
that's
needed.
Where you have an
hazmats.
8-sided die and a 6-sided die. You can kind of see there.
Okay.
Those are the ones you roll to see where your fire spreads and where new people might be found.
Okay, and then all the other resolve effects, and then replenish POI if less than 3 roll in place. So I don't know what that means exactly.
Points of interest.
Ah,
that's the question mark.
The question
tokens.
marks. Yeah.
That can possibly be people to save or be false alarms.
Awesome. And there's the 3 ending conditions here for the game. The building collapses, which you've talked about.
Yep.
You can get to victory, 7 or more victims rescued, or defeat 4 or more victims lost.
Yes.
So there's also
you do want to save
rules.
people. If you lose people, it is very, very bad.
You trying to tell me firefighters save people's lives?
Oh, yes, they do.
Every day.
But yeah, so the tokens I think are my favorite part because they're all double-sided. Of course, fire can just,
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly. So it's really interesting. Like I said, it's got a lot of variable difficulty rules based on how much fire you start with, how many people are in the building, how much hazmat is there, what role you have. It's really, really cool.
Awesome. And then that was everything. These are just cardboard placeholders.
Nice, simple
empty,
insert.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So that's a really cool looking game.
What I also love
the
is
pandemic comparison.
Yeah, it also comes with a ton of expansions.
Ooh.
New buildings, there's an expansion called Second Story.
Okay.
There's more of the characters with more models. You can have a dog, of course.
Oh, sweet.
So there's all sorts of really cool stuff to add
this
on
game is constantly being supported, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's still getting new stuff from what I know, and I really enjoy it quite a bit.
Awesome. Well, let's hop out for a really quick recap. So that was Flashpoint Fire Rescue. Really cool looking game.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
A lot of cool cooperative gameplay. Like I said, it's really good for sort of a varied range of groups. You can have families that are not experienced or really hardcore gamers.
I mean, it's 2 to 6 players, so lots of
and it plays in usually less than an hour, so it's really good to just fit into a nice game night.
And it's ages 10 and up, so whole family can play it, like you were saying, or hardcore gamers if you have a gaming group that wants to give it a challenge. I really like the building falling down mechanic.
Yeah, it's really interesting that they really
cool.
sort of went that extra mile where it's like you have all these ways to fail, and we made all the comparisons to Pandemic. It's very similar, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it seems a little bit not lighter in tone, but like a little lighter game.
Yeah, not as stressful, maybe.
Right.
That's how it seems, but once you play it, it definitely is.
Yeah, I mean things are burning and exploding.
Yeah.
I can see
that's Flashpoint. It's from Indie Boards and Cards. It'll run you about $40. It's available now, along with a ton of different expansions.
So it's in stores now. Go check it out. Michael, thanks for coming by. Thanks for reading the game. I'm AdamHarry from Bell House Souls.
I'm Michael from Lair Comics and Fantasy.
This has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks again for watching. Tabletop Spotlight brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Thanks for watching.